Hello and thank you for staying with us here on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun and this is the news at 5. The Hotel and Personal Service Senior Staff Association, an affiliate of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, the TUC, has picketed the Abuja Continental Hotel over issues surrounding the unionization of its workers and what it calls freedom of association. Members of the union and other affiliates who came out as early as 6 in the morning on Monday, that's today, also decried what they call unfair labor practices and indecent working conditions. Now, the unions who blocked the entrance of the hotel say all their efforts to meet the management of the hotel have been rebuffed.
That we are bothered about the progress of the organization. We wrote the hotel sometime on the 4th of August, inviting them for a discussion to see a peaceful way of resolving this issue amicably. But to our surprise, the management of Abuja Intercontinental wrote us back to say, owing to renovation exercise going on, they might not be available to discuss with us until end of November. How does that make sense to you? We are talking about workers' rights being violated. We are talking about workers being treated as slaves, and you are postponing it until the renovation is done. Invariably, which means by the time they are done with the renovation, all our workers will have died. And it's against that background that we are here to exercise our fundamental right and press home our demand that they do have a right to unionization and collective bargaining.
Who are the workers? The few ones that they have intimidated this morning, as we are talking now, they have written all their names. If they don't do what they are doing, they are sure that by tomorrow they don't have job anymore. That is what they are doing. Some of them are sending to us, secretly. They are talking to us secretly that we must deliver them. We should not mind what they are doing behind here. That is the message they send.
However, some of the staff of the Abuja Continental Hotel have responded to the exercise.
If there were correspondences and there were disagreements, we need to be involved because the whole thing is about us. We are not carried along. We are not interested. The management, they are doing their best. And we know that whatever we are going to do is going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot better. We don't want you to kill us in trying to help us. If truly the agenda that they are here for is to help us, you don't have to kill us. You don't have to stop the business. You don't have to destroy everything because you want to make a point. It doesn't work that way.
As the debate over the removal of subsidy heightens ahead of the 2027 presidential elections, an energy consultant, Mr. Zakabala, is advising the authorities to ensure that the nation's refineries are working again. Mr. Bala, who was our guest on our politics program, Lunchtime Politics, says the current situation might seem like the microeconomy is picking up, but then the reality is that businesses and companies are barely surviving in Nigeria.
Subsidy is a universally accepted and validated economic pain cushioning concept, just like democracy. Democracy is a universally accepted and a defined concept of governance, just like amnesty when you are looking for peace. So if subsidy is not working in your country, first of all, that will never in any way vitiate or invalidate its global relevance. Check your country internally. Then when you talk about strategic industrial sectors, where you talk about the manufacturing sectors and the rest, and even you talk about those operating in the oil and gas industry, manufacturing industries, I can tell you their profit and everything has gone down. But many Nigerians don't believe. If you think most of these companies you are seeing are doing well, go to the banks. As a chartered accountant, I go through financial records. They are in pains. 4 functional refineries, but none is working. All I can tell you is our refineries and those we saddle with those responsibilities allow those refineries to be sabotaged, and they can best be described as economic vampires and economic marauders. All the OPEC member nations, tell me one OPEC member nation that does not have state-owned refineries that are functional. None. Right? That is what I want to tell you. Somebody came up with the argument that when we remove subsidy, right, so much money was made available to the subnationals. And I will ask a very simple question. Go and show me one state where, because you remove subsidy, had enough money for subnationals. Now if you go, you will see public water in taps. None. Nations are not cursed, but nations can be led by irresponsible or misguided or bad economic managers. And as far as I was concerned, Nigeria was being led or misguided by bad economic managers.
The seasonal downpour is indeed wreaking havoc on major highways across the country. And here in Nigeria's southwest, along the Ifakioye-Ilupeju axis in Ekiti State, well, it is not an exception. Motorists say they are stranded in that axis, and the residents there are making appeals to the government to come to their aid.
It's been a torturous journey for motorists flying the Ifakioye-Ilupeju axis of Ekiti State. Following the deplorable state of that axis, hundreds of heavily loaded trucks are stuck on the road, spending long hours daily. Transporters say the route is a major link to other states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, making the situation a growing economic and safety concern. Many describe the condition of the road as alarming and called for urgent federal government intervention.
It can only be imagined this quantum of vehicles pass through this small place, this small road. Until I saw the extent yesterday, I could never have imagined in my mind that the traffic here is so heavy. This is almost worse than what Apapa used to be. So it's a good thing that you've come to take note of what is happening. And if we're able to reach the Honorable Minister, whatever can be done, I don't even know how they will be able to get here quickly, because the way it is, the articulated vehicles, the trailers, they can move. And they are carrying goods, they are carrying containers, they are carrying all manner of stuff that the people would expect to use for this, for whatever they order those containers for.
For commercial drivers, the prolonged gridlock means loss of man-hours, additional expenses, and growing fears of possible accidents.
And this bad owner is for everywhere in Nigeria, not only here. After we left this place now, I guess another one sitting for before Kaba. There's another traffic there. So it's around Nigeria right now. So what we are passing this time is very difficult. So come help us now, come and repair the road. So when the road grew now, everywhere will be okay.
We will not go back for government. We will not go back for them. But when election comes, Nigeria will go show them. See how our road is. You know how the road. See, look at it. Since day before yesterday, now so we did for now 4 days. 1 week. So me, I get 3 days. Because I want to almost 300 in there for back.
Residents of the affected communities are appealing to the federal government to act urgently to restore the road and allow farmers move their produce to the markets.
In Ondo State, indigents of 19 coastal communities in Elijah local government area have appealed to the relevant federal and state government agencies to intervene by averting a communal crisis that may arise by the activities of neighboring Ishakiri communities invading their ancestral land. The locals, who fall under Ugbo Kingdom, alleged that some armed men from Ishakiri tribe in Delta State invaded their land on Saturday, August the 15th. According to the protesters, the development had created tension among the residents and threatened the peaceful relationship that had existed between the Elijah and Ishakiri people for generations. Speaking on behalf of the Elijah communities, Busayo Ibini and Olumide Ibiwajumi insist that the communities have been under Ugbo Kingdom in Elijah local government of Ondo State for several decades, wondering why some Ishakiri people want to claim to own them now.
We have come to plead with the government of nation Nigeria. We have come to plead with the government of Ondo State. We have come to plead with Delta State government. We have come to plead with our Royal Majesties. Because this land has paid tribute to no kingdom, the Ugbo Kingdom, from time immemorial. This land is an Ugbo land and it belongs to the Ugbo people under the paramount ruler of King Frederick Akirunta, CFR, the Olugbo of Ugbo Kingdom. We have that historical data and we have political data that is a pointer to the fact of our ownership of this land.
This community is not Delta State. It's Ondo State, under Ilage local government in the Ugbo Kingdom. I was born and brought up in this community. You can see all the projects here is Ondo State project. The one we are still doing here also is Ondo State. There's no ever once that Delta State community have any project in this place, even though we have a unit that were used to vote in this community.
Our next story spotlights a business administration graduate who is bringing a different approach to the traditional meat selling business, popularly referred to on social media as the corporate meat seller. Akim Morina's unconventional approach to the trade seeks to challenge the stereotypes associated with butchers. Our correspondent Kenny Akimomi caught up with him in Abuja, the Ogun State capital.
Every morning, Akim Morina arrives at Camp Junction in Abuja, the Ogun State capital, dressed like a corporate executive. But instead of heading to a corporate office, he resumes at his meat stand, the place he calls his office. Known on social media as the corporate meat seller, his unusual approach to butchery is gaining attention.
You know, wearing suit to sell meat has always been my dream. Because I see people wearing suits to office everywhere, but no matter how small your office is, it is still your office.
A business administration graduate, Akim is giving the traditional trade a distinct identity while challenging perception about meat sellers by blending fashion into the business.
You know, people that sell meat are stuck. They always dress dirty, fight, but I just want to change the narrative. Me being a fashionista and bringing it to my business, I want to combine the two together. There is one ad that says, dress the way you used to be addressed. So there is nobody that will see me like this, that will come to my stand and harass me, or that will talk to me anyhow. So the only message I'm going to give to other people is always look good.
Beyond the meat stand, his story reflects the growing role of social media in helping young entrepreneurs market their skills and businesses.
Social media has already played a vital role in my business because anything you are doing, this is now a new age, let's say computer age. Anything you are doing, you have to put it outside there so that people can see. But it has already played a vital role by giving me much customers. I see many customers from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
For customers who stop by daily, his approach is both unconventional and memorable.
Oh, you want to eat for peppermint?
It's giving something totally outstanding. Like, it's not common, it's rare to see a meat seller being corporate like this. And since then, I've been patronizing him, to be candid.
I started buying my meat here because he is kind, he's calm. He's not used to act as if he's arrogant, because he's unique and his meat is okay.
I stumbled on this video on TikTok, I think a few days ago, and I was like, okay, right here in camp, what's going on? I felt like, okay, I think this is just unique. So I decided to just patronize him to the well person, and I'm really impressed, I must say.
Akim's interest in the trade did not begin with him. He learned the business from his father.
I've been following my dad right from when I was still small to market to sell meat. So since then, I've had interest, even not ordinary interest, passion of selling meat.
I am glad that my children have a close relationship with me, and they avail themselves to assist me. They are enjoying the rewards of their loyalty.
For Akim, the corporate look is more than a style statement. It is his way of showing that professionalism can exist in any line of work. Kenny Akiwumi, Channels Television News.
We go on a break now, and when we return on News at 5, federal government spends 6.47 trillion naira on strategic infrastructure projects. Find out more on Business News. Join us again. Welcome back. The Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted 2 40-foot containers laden with cannabis-infused gummies and cookies at the Tinkan Island port in Lagos. The Controller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, explains that the products were attractively packaged, warning unsuspecting youth over deceptive snacks.
These 42 food containers, imports from the United States of America, were flagged over public safety concerns upon arrival at the Tinkan Island Port Command in Lagos. When screened, it was found to be laden with cannabis-infused products, smuggled into regular cargo.
These seizures comprise Delta-8 cannabis-infused pre-rolled cookies, Delta-8 cannabis-infused gummies, and cannabis-infused cookies with a total street value of 373,802,640 naira.
The Nigerian Customs Service remains committed to supporting the federal government's efforts. We recognize that effective border management requires not only enforcement, but also strong collaboration among all relevant security and regulatory agencies.
Vanilla flavor. This one is berry pie. This one has, and they make it look so attractive, so that when you see it, you just want to grab some and munch away.
The Customs CG Adewale Adeniyi hands over the cannabis pre-roll cookies, infused gummies, and regular appearing cannabis cookies with estimated street value of over 373 million naira to the officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. He warns unsuspecting youths over intake of random and attractively packaged snacks.
All this as a result of detailed intelligence gathering, monitoring, and management. I want to thank you, sir. I'm sure this note will help us to do a very thorough job.
The customs boss hints that 2 suspects are presently assisting in investigation over the illicit snack seizure, while another principal suspect remains at large as frantic efforts are made to bring him to justice.
Stakeholders in Nigeria's recycling industry have called for a stronger and more coordinated voice to address challenges confronting the sector. The Waste Recyclers Council of Nigeria is asking the Lagos State government to build waste infrastructure that will help manage the waste generated in the state and also achieve the circular economy that will be beneficial to all. The president of Recyclers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Harold Okonobo, as well as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Council, Mr. Oluwafemi Idowu-Adegoke, made the comment at the 2026 Waste Recyclers Council of Nigeria's annual general meeting in Surulere, Lagos, to shape the future of recycling in Nigeria.
The waste collecting challenge they face in some areas of Lagos State has become a major concern for residents.
Waste on the road and everywhere, at every point, at every junction. So I feel it's a very big challenge for Lagos State.
The current situation has attracted the attention of the Waste Recyclers Council of Nigeria. Leaders from various bodies within the recycling sector have gathered to deliberate on the challenges affecting their businesses and explore ways to improve waste management in Lagos State and the country at large.
Waste collectors play a critical role in recovering recyclable materials from our communities.
The council says it is willing to work with the government and jointly address matters regarding waste.
The current issues going on goes beyond just collection. The government needs to carry the critical stakeholders along, develop infrastructure, more investment. The problem is not the waste. It's not that Lagos generates too much waste is the problem. Yes, Lagos has much waste, but because we have not developed matching infrastructure, matching investment to that, that's why it's a problem, because waste is no longer waste, it's a resource. And we can use this to create a mega multi-billion naira industry.
Ban on exportation of plastic waste remain a source of concern for some stakeholders who are appealing to the government to revisit the policy.
if you decide that you're going to ensure that there's a ban on the exports, you also want to ensure that you then get involved in the regulation of the industry. You can no longer leave the industry to market forces of demand and supply, because you'd eventually create an oligopoly where the players who play or work with pellets can decide today, you can't export, so you're stuck with these guys as the only persons that actually are going to purchase your material.
Issues around vandalization of government property by scavengers also came under scrutiny.
What we are doing for the society, for the environment, is more greater than what people have seen. Sometimes some people will just go to social media and start talking about vandalization. It's not all the waste pickers that involved in that. And I always challenge anybody, any society. Is there any provision that there is no bad eggs? None. We are not vandalizing any government or personal this thing. Some of us are doing it legally.
Waste Recyclers Council of Nigeria says it is determined to foster a sustainable waste management culture that benefits every citizen in Lagos and Nigeria.
Welcome to Business News. The federal government says it spent 6.47 trillion naira on strategic infrastructure projects between June 2023 and December 2025. The government's reform scorecard shows that 2.23 trillion naira was disbursed for the coastal highway, while 1.11 trillion naira went to the Sokoto-Badagry superhighway. Another 489.3 billion naira was spent on the Trans-Sahara superhighway. Together, the three projects accounted for about 3.83 trillion naira of the total 6.47 trillion naira spent on strategic infrastructure during the period. And Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is tightening its rules for cryptocurrency firms with a 30 million naira registration fee and minimum capital requirements of up to 2 billion naira, depending on the type of operator. The new requirements are part of efforts to strengthen regulation of Nigeria's growing digital asset market and ensure operators have sufficient financial capacity. While the SEC, or SEC, says the move will also help protect investors, improve market transparency, and strengthen confidence in the crypto market. Crypto businesses operating in Nigeria will therefore face higher entry requirements as regulators step up oversight of the sector. And that's the news at 5. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The World Today is up next.